today, guys? How are you guys doing? Today's video is about capacity. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of conversations about many things, but I just wanted to go over capacity, and I think sometimes it is very overrated. Now, we all know what this is. This is a standard AR-15 magazine. And I know you'll hear on the media high capacity. No, this is a standard 30 round AR-15 magazine. Now, when I move beyond that, this here is a surefire 60 round. This is what's considered high capacity. 60 rounds, high capacity. This is a ATI polymer, which is a fancy word for tough and expensive plastic. 65 round. This is what you call high capacity. And obviously, last but not least, the drum. Now, this is a Pro Mag drum. It's not loaded. I don't load these until I absolutely take them out hog hunting or something, just because I don't want the spring seem too long, and these are a little bit tougher to load. But this is a high capacity drum. Now, with the conversation, and I know I see memes about it, we talk about it a lot, and I want to give a big shout out to a good friend of mine. I call him Pinball. His name is Timothy Fortner. He chose to move on his career and become a foreman, and that was all right with me, because technically he still didn't cross the line as our employee, but he's a good friend of mine. He also happens to be of a different nationality and race. He's Caucasian. Obviously, I'm brown skinned, but me and him get along. And one thing about me and him is we don't always agree on everything. And that used to make, especially living in America, great, because you didn't have to agree with everything. That's for really a different video, different conversation. But we all know and love 45 ACP, but we tend to carry 9mm. And I don't have an issue with that. The thing I'm trying to convey in this video and get an understanding on is that, are we truly a copycat society? Because in most cases with guns, and when we consider home defense, self-defense, more so than concealed carry, you tend to choose more guns. Me personally, not just from a female standpoint, a man standpoint, I think the AK platform and the AR platform, AR-10, anything that powerful should be last on your list for a home defense gun. Not self-defense, home defense, just because of over-penetration. You're going to tear far more shit up with an AK-47 shooting in your house towards your neighbors trying to defend your place, more so with a handgun. And it's just something to think about. But again, that's for a different video. We're actually going to have some demonstrations come up, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where am I at? This is a 9mm. This is a Smith & Wesson 9mm clip. Magazine, I'm sorry. Clip is for your M1 Grands and a couple of the guns. It's loaded. Let you see that hollow point. But most people tend to carry 9mm because you're going to get 16 rounds. Most Glocks, let's just give a number between 15 to 17 round, one in the chamber. I think I've seen one handgun carry, 18, 19 rounds of 9mm. So a lot of people tend to carry this because you're getting maximum capacity in your standard magazine, and that's going to allow you to pretty much handle any situation, right? Okay. So we like that conversation. But then when we go back into, excuse me, I'm having a little trouble right here. This conversation of the 45 ACP, which you can see, 8 rounds. I don't know if you see that it is. 8 rounds. We love this. 2 world wars. One of the, well, it is the most copied gun in the world. Most variants, I would probably say too. And since John Moses Browning created it, and then obviously Colt got it and made this weapon, and this bullet was built around the 1911, and later it went into what we call the Tommy gun, the machine gun, but actually it's a PCC, pistol per caliber carbine. This has become a standard. Now, obviously, 9mm is the NATO standard. So 45 ACP is not a NATO standard, but 45 ACP actually in its current factory loaded form is a subsonic round. That's why 45 ACP is a great suppressor host. But a lot of people have moved away from the 45 to the 9mm because we're getting 8 here, and we're getting 16 rounds plus one in the chamber would give you 17. Now, a lot of people understand that, and a lot of the military law enforcement moved away from. But in recent years, the 45 ACP has started to resurface for SWAT, different variations of the law enforcement. The FBI HRT hostage rescue team went back to the 1911. Certain factions in the armed forces, special forces, have went back to training and using 1911s, not only because the platform is reliable, not only because it's a smooth shooter. Everybody's not afraid to tame the beast of the recoil or the hard-hitting factors of that gun. Again, if you ever shot a 1911, it is by far one of the smoothest shooting guns. Well, that's obviously because it's been around over 100 years and it has a lot of purpose. So we move on to a lot of people wanting this. And I have no issues with this. This bullet came a long way. Obviously, this bullet, we got to 40 Smith & Wesson because people couldn't handle 10mm or 45 ACP, and they want a happy medium in between 9 and 45, and that brought you your 40 Smith & Wesson. And then 9mm kind of was viewed as a weak kind of, whatever type cartridge. And obviously with technology, obviously with planes advancing, jets advancing, and gun manufacturers and bullet makers using that same technology, better propellant, better powder, better primers and shells and bullets, you got to the 9mm today that is traveling at wicked speeds and giving you very lethal results if you choose to use it, even in a full metal jacket. Again, it only takes a 22 long rifle in the wrong place to end somebody's day. So I don't want to get into that because that's a different argument, but people will say this is better than this. If you use it effectively, anything's effective. A BB gun to the temple is very effective. So let's not kid ourselves. But we move into this. But we're okay with 16 of these. But for some reason, a standard 5.7 by 28, which holds 20 rounds, a lot of people don't like it. And originally, the 5.7 by 28 was created to replace 9mm as the NATO standard. But it's a much more expensive cartridge. And at the time, F&N had the only gun, which was the F&N 5.7 by 28. And now we have 2 more brands, and I think we got one more going to come online soon. So you have the next step down, which is the Ruger 57, which is probably $100 or $200 more than a Glock 21 or Glock 22, a 45 or 10mm. And then you have the PSA Rock, which holds this clip right here, because I think it holds 22 or 23 rounds. So the 5.7 by 28 will it ever reach the level of the 9mm? Because if I'm truly going to move on from this here, because I'm getting this here at 16, but I'm getting this at 20, that's my question. Because simply put, this is a vastly far superior round than this. Are you with me? This is a smaller, lighter bullet traveling a lot faster, a lot flatter, and you're getting 20 rounds. Now, some people will tell you this is a necked up pistol cartridge or a neck down rifle cartridge. Actually, it's a necked up pistol cartridge, but it's technically in the 20 caliber family. So it's very familiar to the 223 Remington or the 5.56. So my question now to all the people that love capacity, what is the difference between 20 of these, 16 of these? Because you're quick to say, well, I like 45, but I'm looking at capacity. And now I'm out capacity. I'll even go a step further. Oh, man, maybe all right. Here you have a Desert Eagle magazine, and this is a 357 Magnum. I want you to understand that. I'm getting 9 rounds of 357 Magnum versus 8 rounds of 45 ACP. Now, yes, the Desert Eagle is right now, to my knowledge, one of the only guns that actually does chamber 357 and 44 Magnum in a semi-automatic platform without being a Henry, a Marlin, or a revolver. And you're talking about 357 Magnum, that energy transfer, that muzzle velocity, that power, and that force versus this. So I got 8 of these, 9 of these, but I don't like these because, again, I'm only getting, I didn't drop the mag, only getting a minimum amount of rounds. And then we get into the PC, then we get into the smaller guns, and oh, Jesus. Here's a Glock 43 mag, 6 rounds. To me, one of the ultimate concealed carry guns along with 380s is something small. Now, I know when we have these conversations, I do it with general people, but I think some people overthink things. Me personally, if I've never been a drug dealer, never sold drugs, but if I'm a drug dealer, I'm a person that cheats people out of their money, crooked politician, a person that dives into espionage or stealing company secrets and selling them to other companies, or stealing country secrets and selling them to other countries. I'm a person that steals from people, steals from banks. I'm a private contractor that moves money, gold, diamonds for casinos, clubs, banks. You know, I'm not like a Brinks truck or nothing, but I'm a private company. I understand having the ability to use fully automatic weapons or even very, very high capacity guns. But just for an average person that works and goes home, sometimes I think we overshoot ourselves. And again, this is your right because we live in the country, but I think sometimes you have to ask yourself, if I got to really walk around with an 80 round clip, then what the fuck am I doing? Like, maybe I should change what I'm doing. Just my opinion. I don't care what you buy. You can have a clip as long as the long wall. You can have a clip as long as the football field for all I care. But at some point it's like, when are we getting out of the practicality? Like concealed carry is what it's called. It's called concealed carry. Open carry is different. Holding an AR is different. But some people will just overdo it and all they do is go to the store and come home. A lot of people have moved away from even getting revolvers anymore. To me, a revolver is the perfect home defense gun, especially if I get a 7-round revolver. I'm not worried about jamming. I know it'll feed any bullet, whether it's plus P, heavy penetrators, hollow point, full metal jacket, whatever. And you're talking about 357 Magnum, 44 Magnum, something like that, 500 Smith & Wesson. So 700 nitro, 500, one of those rounds, or one of those type of different rounds they use to hunt bear with, grizzly bears with, and revolver, and somebody comes into your house, it's like a shotgun. Your day is done. If you ain't dead, you're going to wish you did. But we moved away from that. And a revolver is a perfect, I didn't say, a home defense is perfect for it. Close quarters, moving. If you learn how to train with it, you can reload it just as quick and get back into it. But those are very powerful cartridges. 44 Magnum, 357 Magnum, 50 Action Express. Those are powerful. I wouldn't necessarily talk about wound channel or cavity, but it's going to be a devastating shot. So when did we get to that point? You know, that's the question. Like when law enforcement moved away, because for a while law enforcement were carrying, police were carrying the 1911. Then they moved to the revolvers. They went to the 38 Special, and then they moved to 357 Magnum. Now they're at 9mm. Some carry 40. They're carrying 9mm plus P, whatever. But most gun community, are we just a copycat society when it comes to capacity? I think every gun has a purpose, but I think a lot of people tend to just watch a video or listen to somebody, and then instead of doing their research, that's what they buy. Like I say, I don't have any issue with 9mm. I own a couple of them. I own a PCC. I love the Scorpion. I don't have any issues with the Scorpion Micro. I think it's a fascinating gun. It definitely has a purpose in close quarters. 100 yards to zero, it has a purpose. You're getting a lot of ammo, and you're getting a little bit bigger barrel. I will say this to people who like PCCs. Sorry, I keep saying that. The longer the barrel is, the better the bullet becomes, because you're getting more muzzle velocity. Obviously, MP5s, MP7s, the Banshee line from CMMG, the Thompson, the Strybog, the MPXs, various different type of guns like that, the Vector. You're getting a modular system where I can use my same, most of the time, especially with the Banshee. You can go from your Glock mag, from your handgun to that gun. You can use the same caliber, and you're getting something that's a suppressor host that you can suppress. You're getting something you can use. So I don't have any issue with that. That's good. But in today's video, I just want to get to the point of, is 9mm truly the best sidearm round? Is it the best for concealed carry? Is it the best for home defense? You have to really be that judge. I think if somebody's breaking in your home and a 9mm is available, and you don't have, again, like I say, the Glock 43 is a very small, I would, anytime a woman would ask what type of gun, especially something to go in their purse for protection or the house, I'm going to mention the Glock. I don't personally carry a lot of Glocks anymore because I want something with an external safety on it. But if I'm living in a house, it shouldn't really matter. But again, people just have moved away from revolvers as a good, it's still a good self-defense and definitely a good home defense. Now, you can go buy you a belt, you can get a holster, get your AR, you can go walk through the woods to go to the store and have your revolver, and you'll be fine. We're still on the other side of the pandemic, but if we have another pandemic or another situation, and this situation does go south, civil unrest, anything, definitely being able to protect yourself, protect your home is going to be very vital and very key. And in saying that, you know, we just a conversation for the gun community and gun world. What makes your caliber? Because again, to me, this, if I was out in the real world and, you know, I had a plate carrier on, or I'm trying to, you know, move through a town to get some food to get back home, this would be considered to me a good backup gun. Everyday carry, I wouldn't mind carrying 6 rounds. Because I'm not looking to kill anybody. But if that opportunity comes and presents myself where I had to save my life or, you know, be able to defend myself, I don't think 6 rounds is not sufficient enough, because some revolvers are 6 rounds, and then you got another clip, should be able to defend yourself. If I'm out and about, and especially I'm not a police officer, I'm not in the army looking for a fight, definitely 16 rounds of 9mm and another clip, you're definitely going to have the capacity you want. And this right here, to me, is the ultimate. I mean, the 5.7x28 to me just makes sense for any situation, whether it's concealed carry, whether it's end of the world, doomsday, home defense, you're getting a lot of capacity out of a bullet. But again, 9mm has become so popular, and the price point. I agree. You have the price, you can find it. Most people have a 9mm, and so you can take the bullets. Sometimes you can match the clip up, or you can match the ammo up, magazine up, whatever you want to do. 45 ACP does the job. This is 357 Magnum. This is 357 Magnum. I don't think I need to explain to you in a close quarter situation, 357 Magnum or 45 ACP. I mean, it is bag them off of me. 1911 Desert Eagle. The only drawback from a Desert Eagle, I don't know if a lot of people may not own one, is it's case sensitive. You just can't go buy mom and pop 357 Magnum. You got to have the recommended 357 Magnum off of the Magnum Research website. But as far as when you get the right ammo, practice with it, practice, shoot with it. This is a very effective tool. You're sitting at home, mind your own business. Somebody comes in the door trying to rob you, murder you, take your kids, whatever. This will get them back. This will make them wish they never came in your house. And I do these videos strictly from the point of a male's point of view as well as a woman's point of view. But this is all fun. But this is about, I'm not trying to tell you to go out and kill anybody, do anything like that. Simply put, to me, we have this notion of 9mm being the best capacity you can get in a handgun. I just think if you train with it, 45 ACP, even with 8 rounds and a couple of clips next to you, you're going to be very successful if you know what you're doing as far as things. Because anytime something happens, stress will come on you, your heart rate will beat up, you'll fumble around because you may not have been in that situation before. But 45 ACP will save your life. I just talk about this, and I want y'all to understand that in this video about capacity. And I think anything will work. If you're in the woods and all you got is 5.56 and a bear comes, a standard clip, we'll bag them up off of you. Now, if you're a good shot, hit him in the eye, okay, that's a different story. But I think we get into this point of we're trying to keep up with John Wick, or we're trying to keep up with police, and sometimes the police are not right. Sometimes the military is not right. They have to make decisions, what's best, what's cost effective, and what's best for what they're doing and the application they're going to. The military's slowly moving away from 5.56. They're going back to a battle rifle. Anybody knows guns know that 30-06 is a far more superior cartridge than a 223 5.56, but it's heavy. And at the time of the M1 Grand, you can only carry, I think they fired 6 rounds, 5 rounds, 7 or something, 8 or so, versus 20 to 30 round magazines. Really, if you look at it, if you really sit down and look at it, in the Vietnam War, when they were running the M16, and the M16 is a 20 to 18 inch barrel. A lot of people don't even know one of the reasons why it's so hard to really have success with suppressing a rifle in 5.56 is because the bullet was designed for 20 inch barrel. So that's why you get a lot of burn off, a lot of powder not coming on out. But you think about it, they had a 20 inch barrel. Those bullets are not modernized like we have today, and they were more lethal because it was like a car wreck. Bullet would hit very fast and it would just come to a complete stop and turn, and it would just explode, control chaos or control fracture before they even had it. Like the bullet would just go in and it would just blow up. It was a very, very good round. And obviously with technology, the bullets got so better. Most of the time, if you're hitting a soft place, because we are soft as humans, only thing hard on us is our bones and our skull and spine. That's the only thing hard on us. Most of the time you get shot with an AK bullet or an AR bullet, the bullet's traveling at 308, traveling at such speed, it's going to go through you. 5.56, you get hit in the arm, I would say most of the time in the muscle, it's just going to blow through because it's a very fast round. Now, when you get to hitting certain spot, yeah, it's going to do a lot of damage. So capacity is very important. I cannot touch on this, man. You guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. But I just want y'all, maybe y'all answer the question in the comment. What makes the 9mm so popular as the carry gun because you're getting 16 rounds? And why not the 5.7x28, which is a far superior round to the 9mm? Far superior. I mean, you can just see it. It's a little bit smaller, but it's traveling faster, more powder, and I'm getting 20 of these versus 16 of these. And again, like I say, I don't have any issues, but to me, if I know what I'm doing, to me, this is still the king of the mountain. 45 ACP, this right here, out of a 1911, out of a Glock, out of the F&N, F&X, which is the tactical version. It carries 15 rounds. You can get a Glock 21. I think it gives you 13 rounds. So there are some 45 ACP, but again, a lot of people complain because the grip is big because you're shooting the big gun. But to me, the 1911 is still a viable concealed carry or home defense option. 45 ACP. Now they do make extended mags, the single stack extended mags. I personally don't have any extended mags on any handgun. Now I do run some on AR platform, but that's just what I do. But what made this go away? Still very effective, still a hard hitting round. You still can change someone's behavior with 45 ACP. I don't know, but I do know for some reason most of the conversation is I want this versus this. So is it mental? Is it just because you see it on TV? But that's the question I got. I just want some help with it. Like I say, but everything has a different setup. Everything has a reason. If you only choose to buy one gun, there's logic to support any caliber. There's logic, there's science, there's numbers to support any caliber. But some people, like myself and others, we have multiple guns, few guns, and we like some options. But I just want to know, when did we become, I like this over this? But if I train with this, I can use this and be just as effective with this. I just may have to put another magazine. And obviously, this is 16, this is 8, so it's going to take 2 mag to do that. Just a thought. Capacity. I don't have an issue with capacity. First of all, I'm not trying to bother anybody. I normally stay to myself, so just something to think about. We're going to get on the range, I think, in a little bit, and we're going to, which I got a video up, 45 ACP out of 1911, pretty much dead on, tearing the plates up. I like to shoot the metal plate so you can hear, but just a question. So I'm going to leave you guys, and I just want y'all to think about that. Just a question. 16, 20. But I won't buy this. I'll just get this. This will do the trick. This will do the trick. This will do the trick too. Just a question. Y'all be safe. Train. Practice. Enjoy the range. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but right now we're still a free country. The Second Amendment is still in effect. The right to bear arms, not infringed, it still means something. So get out and enjoy the range. Mind your business. Leave people alone. Stop arguing. Stop trying to get mad at folks because they took a parking spot. It's neither one of y'all's. You don't own the stores. You don't own the restaurants. Don't get mad about somebody stepping on your shoes. If they're not causing bodily harm to you or not messing with your kids or your family, Let's practice letting things go. Stop getting angry. We already have an uphill battle we're fighting with these idiots, with these school and other shootings, for us to continue to act irresponsible. I like that girl you're talking to him, so I'm going to shoot you. It's not a good reason to shoot anybody. Being a gun owner, even in today's time, is more magnified, but we have a responsibility, and I hope we start acting like that. Oh, man, this guy cut me off in traffic, so I'm just going to shoot my gun. Bullets don't have a name on them. They travel till they stop. So if you're shooting at somebody and there's 3 people standing next to them and they don't have anything to do with what's going on and you're not a good shot, you're probably going to hit them people. It just happens like that. Bullets do not just, oh, I missed and it's just disappeared. They go until they stop. They go till they run out of power, they run out of energy. So that's something to think about. When you're sitting here, oh, I see this guy at the store, I'm going to shoot. It's other people there. I don't understand. So it's just time for us to start thinking logically and thinking responsible, and understand that it's a responsibility that you have when you have one of these. And it's not always a shoot situation. Everything doesn't have to be resolved in violence. Yeah, you got that parking spot. That's okay, man. You step on my shoe and say, excuse me, just material. Let it go. I think we're ready to go from 0 to 900. And then it's already enough that what we deal with, the murder and violence every day, to turn the TV on and see somebody get shot for winning in basketball, talking junk. Nothing bothers me more than when I turn the TV on, Alabama loses, or check the internet, and then somebody got shot at a party, or they couldn't take trash talking. That's stupid. Over a football game. Just because I got a gun, I shot somebody. Just saying. Capacity, understanding, controlling. It's just a tool in a toolbox. Know how to use it, but also be responsible. You guys have a great day. Get back with you later.